Yo, it's your man MAS, back with more content. This time around, we're talking about Sakamoto Days, alright? This series is really good. That's the end of the video. It's like, nah, but pretty much, like, I know most of my content is like me criticizing or crapping on anime, but like there are really good anime out there. And for me, like the topic of the day with Sakamoto Days is graphics, right? Can an anime still be really good with really crappy graphics? The answer is yes. The answer is Sakamoto Days, all right? And then if you're an older anime lover, like you know that like the graphics aren't like next gen, right? So some of the greatest animes that we've seen, the graphics, if you watch those anime back then and you watch it now, the graphics are shit. There's only like a few animes that the graphics stood the test of time. It's the same thing with video games, right? You play certain games, and back then it was like the greatest thing since sliced bread, right? But fast forward to now, it's crap. But there were some games back then that the graphics were so good that it stood the test of time now. From him, in regards to where you can find Sakamoto Days, it's on Netflix, all right? So Netflix is trying to be a competitor to, I guess, Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll is like the only main non-underground pirated anime app, channel, whatever, that I know that is easily accessible to people. And then Netflix has been trying, you know, so I think Netflix got one with the Sakamoto Days. I really do think they do. Like if they're trying to put their foot into the anime space, I think Sakamoto Days so far is a home run, like hands down. I'm watching Solo Leveling and Sakamoto Days, and it's like a 1-2 punch. Like I feel like you can't beat it. Like Sakamoto Days to me is holding its own to Solo Leveling. I'm enjoying both shows thoroughly. But back into the topic at hand. I ranted for a good minute. So Sakamoto Days, the graphics, the artwork is garbage. It's garbage, right? It's like it's garbage by today's standard, right? And I mean, to explain this, if you consume enough anime, old and new, you know the standards of anime now. The standards of, you know, like Real Engine 5, like graphics needs to be top tier. Berserk, some animes are just so damn good, I need to know what happens. I gotta read. I don't feel like waiting, right? Sakamoto Days is probably close to within that realm for me personally, all right? It reminds me of a Rurouni Kenshin feel, right? And when I say that, it's like, hey, like, and that's the issue I have with Solo Leveling. Like the book probably does a better job of Solo Leveling, but like Sakamoto Days is like, they're still the overpowered character. So like that never went away. But like there was an emphasis on the other characters. And the other characters are almost like coming into their own, if that makes sense. Like the story of Sakamoto Days is just so damn fucking good. It's really good. Maybe it might be like a little slow in the beginning, and even then I would even call it slow. Like it's still really good, but like it really picks up when he starts to meet like his old partners from the order. Like it really starts to pick up a lot, and it just gives you that, like the anime recipe is real, but like that recipe I haven't seen in a long time. It just feels like the most balanced thing I've seen in a long time, minus like Frieren. Like what Sakamoto Days is doing is kind of like what Frieren did or is doing, and that's really good. The only difference is like Frieren is, as far as I can tell, does Frieren have a better story? I think so. And Frieren is just like, is next gen, like Frieren kind of checks all the boxes, next gen graphics, all that stuff. But for me, Sakamoto Days, I like Assassins more. But I do think Frieren got it. Like Frieren is like a better version of Sakamoto Days, but it's kind of like a preference of if you prefer Assassins or just magic, right? Doesn't mean it's still damn good, right? Two things can be true. But yo, it's your man MAS. I'm out. Yo, it's your man MAS, back with more content. All right, so we're talking more Sakamoto Days. All right, it's my opinion. It's one of the best animes out right now. Of course, there's a book. The book has been in existence. We don't read over here. Strictly anime. All right, TV watching, vision. All right. But this time around it's like a little bit of a different topic. The Crunchyroll / Netflix dilemma. All right, I'm gonna put this into context for you guys, so don't worry about it. Right, Sakamoto Days was a free agent. All right, this is the scenario. Sakamoto Days is a free agent. Right, we're trying to figure out who's gonna pick it up. The most common name, the winning team, has been Crunchyroll. Crunchyroll, despite its ups and downs, right? There's probably drama behind the scenes. I'm not a news network, or I'm not reporting that, but for all extensive purposes, Crunchyroll has been the king of anime platforming. Like, that is the go-to mainstream platform that people go to for anime. So when people think Sakamoto Days, they think Crunchyroll. I was like, oh, Sakamoto Days, they're coming out with anime? Oh, I'm gonna watch that on Crunchyroll. It's on Netflix. There are Netflix exclusive anime. Crunchyroll has monopolized a lot of things, right? Crunchyroll is essentially, again, for mainstream, Crunchyroll is essentially like the New England Patriots. Like that team that continues to win, never really has a losing season by perception, you know, because there's stuff behind the scenes, but again, perception. And, you know, and this was before like platform became really popular. Right, so you need to understand, right? I've been watching anime for a very, very, very long time. As I'm assuming you have, right? If you watch my channel, you're a hardcore anime watcher, all right? This is back in the LimeWire days, you know, the pirate sites. Like, stuff isn't the same anymore. So I feel like you can still kind of pirate anime, because anime is not as big as regular television shows. Like, if you're trying to watch certain television shows, that shit is hard, all right? Like, if you're trying to pirate it, like, it's mad hard, right? And rightfully so, because people want their credit. People want their rights. You shouldn't be, well, you technically shouldn't be pirating it, but I'm going to do it anyway. If I really need to is, what are some titles that are coming out down the pipeline, manga-wise, book-wise, that like, if Netflix is trying to turn the tables, how are they going to do it? I feel like pretty much they made a statement by getting Sakamoto Days. They made a statement, all right? Unfortunately, they didn't make much progress because Crunchyroll got Solo Leveling, and again, the numbers are going crazy. But if Netflix is in the conversation in terms of like pumping out anime content, right? I mean, if they can create their own original content, that'd be even better. But like, you can't have it all, right? Like, original content is going to be a lot harder unless like they licensed a manga, right? Like, somebody created a manga, they liked it so much, it's like, hey, we want to license it. Then maybe, but if Netflix can get their hand on another major title, they might, you know, run the gamut. I forgot, it was another YouTube channel that mentioned it. I definitely want to salute them. I forgot the name of the YouTube channel, but they mentioned an anime that got picked up that was technically canceled by Shonen Jump, right? So here's what this opens up, and it was a great video. I think it was Chibi Reviews, maybe, like, amazing video. I loved it. So what this says is that, hey, if any video does in terms of like, hey, mangas that have been canceled, right? Meaning, no, like the way, I mean, I'm not really that familiar with Shonen Jump. I can only imagine it's just ruthless, right? Like the way they kind of go through anime and shows and series, like it's crazy. Like that I do know, right? If you get canceled from Shonen Jump, that means no more money. In terms of from them, the big dogs. Like, yeah, we were funding you, we ain't doing that no more. Right? But like, as a creator, let's say you created a manga that was picking up traction and it got canceled by Shonen Jump. For all extents and purposes, we can assume that people aren't really checking for you. So even though there might be certain fans that love your series, because you're not backed by a big machine, right? That means that other major companies. Next video, I will go more into detail about Sakamoto Days. All right, this is just strictly just because I was very curious about it, like the whole Netflix and Crunchyroll dilemma in regards to Sakamoto Days. All right, it's lifting up Netflix. All right, but please, if you like the comment, please, you like the content, please like, comment, subscribe. It's your man MAS. I'm out. Yo yo yo, it's your man MAS. Back with another one. All right, we still talking Sakamoto Days. All right, the best anime out right now. Yeah, I said it. Somebody had to say it. I said it. All right, but no, in all honesty, Sakamoto Days is fire. But I mean, you see in the title, if you're a hardcore anime watcher, or maybe let me even do it like this. For those of you who aren't really familiar with anime, right? There was an anime once called Rurouni Kenshin. Yes, I know. There are some people out there who've never seen Rurouni Kenshin. All right, so to kind of quickly summarize, before we make the comparison of Sakamoto Days for my new heads, and then Rurouni Kenshin, and the close comparison between the two. Yes, close comparison. That's what we're talking about. But Rurouni Kenshin, essentially a samurai gone assassin. So he used to be an assassin, but Tosai the manslayer, if you know, you know. And he swore off his ways. And now he goes about helping people with a reverse blade sword. That is Rurouni Kenshin in a nutshell. I literally summarized entire seasons in a matter of minutes for you. Alright? Rurouni Kenshin is fire. That was during, in my opinion, the heyday of amazing animes. Was Rurouni Kenshin ever like the top tier, top 5 anime? No. Like, we could be honest with ourselves, no. So people talk about Rurouni Kenshin, but they don't view it as the high regards as they do like a Fullmetal Alchemist or a Cowboy Bebop. But Rurouni Kenshin is a damn good anime. If you've never seen it, I encourage you to watch it. I believe they remade it on Crunchyroll, like for 2025 or 2024. So same story, new gen graphics. Amazing anime. But essentially a retired assassin gone realistic personality. He's trying to live as a regular person, and he doesn't kill anybody. He saves people, but he's still just as nice. Do not play with that boy. That is Sakamoto Days. That is essentially Sakamoto. I literally just made the comparison. That is Sakamoto Days. Sakamoto Days is, Sakamoto, aka Kenshin, was the nicest dude, the baddest man on earth, as an assassin, just with guns. But now, he's a husband. He's a lovable guy. Kenshin never got that far. I mean, he had a love interest. I don't think he took her serious, but yes, that is, until later in the season, but I'm not going to spoil that for you. Watch it for yourself. But that is Sakamoto Days. There are really tight comparisons. I view Sakamoto Days as the Rurouni Kenshin of this generation, right? Just like I view Dan to Dan like the Yu Hakusho generation. I'm dropping a lot of anime gems. So all of these titles are amazing. So you hear Dan to Dan, you hear Sakamoto Days. That should just tell you how great these shows are, right? But yes, Sakamoto Days, Sakamoto is the nicest person. The thing that I like about Sakamoto Days compared to Kenshin, Rurouni Kenshin, is like, I feel like it's more modern, but also more realistic. Like, they actually show the husband side of it. Like, he gains weight. His kids love him. All the other nice jogging that goes with it. I feel like anime doesn't really do that so much, where it's like everybody's skinny. Like, honestly, you're either super muscular, super skinny, or super fast. It's usually super of something. You have a super chest, or you have no chest. It's usually one of the extremes, right? But with Sakamoto Days, I feel like it's very rare to see a main character that's a heavy-set guy. That's one, and he's still nice with it. So nice that he could be fighting somebody and lose weight mid-fight to his slim perfection state. Sakamoto Days is that funny, but also that realistic, right? And people now have a hit out on Sakamoto, right? But the thing that makes him so unique, just like Kenshin, is that not only did he swear not to kill people, but he develops a crew around them that becomes just as nice. Again, I'm not gonna say too many tidbits from Rurouni Kenshin if you ever do decide to watch it for yourself, but there's a lot of comparisons with Rurouni Kenshin and the characters that Kenshin kind of builds up, and Sakamoto Days and the characters that he built up. Going from Shin to the sniper guy, like whatchamacallit, like the Chinese girl. I'm forgetting their names, but they're all like relative. The thing I like about the show is that they make all those characters relative. And yeah, Sakamoto is like the nicest dude, but he's overpowered in the sense of like he really uplifts the other characters. Dragon Ball Z was kind of like that to a point. I know I go on a lot of rants, bear with me. But then after a while, it kind of just turned into Goku uplifting everybody, and Vegeta just happened to be there. I said it. Goku pretty much was the show, like Dragon Ball Super and onwards, and Vegeta just happened to be there trying to compete, but not quite there. Somebody had to say it. I had to say it. But Sakamoto Days isn't like that. Right? He's not like Goku, right? He's past. The people who know his past, he keep trying to drag them back in. They're trying not to. They want to change their life, but they keep dragging them back in. So if you like that redemption story of somebody who's trying to change their life, they're nice with it, not trying to be nice with it, but all these like haters keep trying to drag them back in, but they do a good job at building up the other characters around them, then you're gonna love Rurouni Kenshin. You're gonna love Sakamoto Days. A lot of similarities between them, right? I mean, but that's just the video. I didn't go into too much in depth because I didn't want to spoil it for people who've never seen Rurouni Kenshin. But definitely watch. I stand by it. Sakamoto Days is the Rurouni Kenshin of this generation. Will it ever get the accolades like a Solo Leveling, like a Frieren? Probably not in terms of anime. Just like Rurouni Kenshin didn't get its flowers. Like these animes eventually get their flowers, but not to those extent. All right, Rurouni Kenshin was a damn good anime, but it got outshined by things like, again, a Fullmetal Alchemist, a Cowboy Bebop, which were all equally good in their right, but I feel like Rurouni Kenshin should have gotten more recognition. That's probably going to be Sakamoto Days. There's a Frieren, there's a Solo Leveling, but Sakamoto Days deserves a lot of like praise. It's a really, really good show. But I mean, please tell me what you think. Like, comment, subscribe, and it's your man MAS. Yo, it's your man MAS, back with more anime content, Sakamoto Days, alright? I know you're probably tired of the Slurp Fest, you know, oh, this guy loves Sakamoto Days, yes. Alright, I mean, you've seen the title, Sakamoto Days, Anime of the Year Contender, alright? We're talking about strictly 2025. The year is not over, more new anime are going to come out. But honestly, in my opinion, Sakamoto Days so far is one of the best animes out there. All right, it is definitely a contender, and it's kind of unfortunate because I'm basing it off of the anime. I know there's like the book. Again, we don't read over here, so if you're new to my channel, like strictly off the dome, fresh watching only the anime, not the books. Watching strictly the anime, it is by far one of the most refreshing shows I've seen in a very, very long time. All right, not to discredit the other animes that already came out. You know about Solo Leveling, and there's a bunch of other shows like Fire Force and Solo Leveling. Pretty much anime of the year, if you had to be honest, it's probably going to go to Solo Leveling season 2. All right, like if you had to be honest, right? But Sakamoto Days, I'm not even sure if like a Netflix show has been nominated for like anime of the. Probably not, because it's kind of hosted by Crunchyroll. But the rare ones, though, if there was like an unbiased anime of the year category on a different platform, Sakamoto Days should definitely be up there, if not win, right? But this isn't to take into account that we know that the year is not over, right? So 2025 is not over. More new anime are going to release. Me personally, the animes that I'm checking for that I feel like can potentially dethrone Solo Leveling season 2 is Frieren season 2. I'm definitely really looking forward to that. Like Frieren is a real, like, here's the thing, right? I think people were mentioning Frieren in like a category before, like, oh, Frieren won best anime or something like that. People were, so I'm like, listen, anime is very, very broad. All because the most popular show is Solo Leveling doesn't mean that is the most watched / viewed show. Like anime is like a very wide spectrum of genres. All right, so all because it's not action doesn't mean that it's not getting that look. All right, so Frieren kind of checks all the categories. I'm looking forward to season 2. Can Frieren season 2 possibly dethrone Solo Leveling? I mean, I think so. But in all honesty, I prefer Sakamoto Days more than Solo Leveling Season 2. I think Sakamoto Days should beat Solo Leveling Season 2. All right. But, I mean, other shows I'm looking forward to. Hell's Paradise. Hell's Paradise Season 1 is on my top 5 best new animes out to watch, right? So I'm looking forward to Hell's Paradise Season 2. You gotta watch Season 1 to know what the hype is. In my personal opinion, it's really, really good. I mean, this is a shot in the dark. There's Villain Saga, right? I'm looking forward to the next season of Villain Saga. If it does come out, that's as best as I can say. Villain Saga storytelling is really, really good. Season 2 was very slow, Farmland Saga, but it was still damn good, all right? So I'm looking forward to the next season of that if it comes out this year. Other shows, I mean, Dan to Dan. I don't think Dan to Dan is coming out probably until 2026, I have to be honest. But if Dan to Dan comes out this year, definitely continue. So it really does just depend on like some of the hot topic shows and when they're coming out. And even if they come out, the bar is now Solo Leveling Season 2, all right? And can they beat that? Not only can they beat that, can they beat Sakamoto Days, right? In terms of anime. And the thing about Sakamoto Days that's like unfortunate, like I have to do more research. I'm not sure if more episodes are coming out, but it's not enough. And I do know, because you know we don't read over here, but like if I want more content, I could just start reading, all right? I did that with Berserk. So it's very rare that anime catches my interest so much that like it makes me want to read, right? Read the, because I'm like, I can't wait for what's about to happen. I feel like Sakamoto Days just does enough where it doesn't make me want to read the book, but it kind of piques my interest where it's like, okay, like the way the episodes end, and you probably know this, like if you watch enough shows or just storytelling, like I don't think Sakamoto Days, like their bread and butter is cliffhangers, right? Like there's certain shows that like they're very, very good at cliffhangers. So the easiest way to kind of hook somebody, I need to do a better job at that with my own like series, right? Like hit them with constant cliffhangers every single episode that it forces the viewer. It's like, yo, I can't end my night like this. I need to know, right? It was the FOMO. I need to know right now, right? That's that FOMO effect, all right? So certain animes are really like pretty much like the big ones like Bleach, Naruto, like they're really, 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 really good at cliffhangers. Sakamoto Days, I don't think has much, but I don't think the genre is focused on cliffhangers. But that's probably the reason why I wasn't like hooked on like, oh, I need to read it. Like I feel like the episodes ended in just enough where I was like, oh, okay, I was content with at my convenience, I'll watch the next episode. Some anime aren't like that. Some anime hit you and get that addiction. It's like I need to watch. All right, that was Solo Leveling, but that was like the issue with Solo Leveling. It's like they used that addiction, right, the cliffhangers, but like it was kind of like the same routine. I am telling you. I mean, for the people who, because I've seen like the mixed reviews about Solo Leveling Season 2, despite all the accolades it's getting from like the majority of people. It's like I think people get it, like, yo, Season 2, like the storytelling was kind of like stalled really, really hard. Whereas like they kind of use the same premise of Sun hiding his abilities, going to a dungeon, people are about to die, he bursts out like Superman and like starts slapping demons around, right? Towards the end of the season where he kind of like everybody, it wasn't nothing to hide. Like people know, like, all right, you that dude, like go do something, and everybody knew he was the guy at that point, right? But yeah, so that aspect I don't think Sakamoto Days has. The reason why I think it's just an anime of the year contender is because it kind of gives me that foreign feel. I mentioned this in a previous video, so it's me being repetitive, but again, it's just a new topic in terms of this year. Like Sakamoto Days being the anime of the year for 2025. It hits all the categories. For me, what makes an anime really, really good is balance, right? How many boxes does it check off? So above average in action, suspense, all that stuff, and it's pretty average, if not slightly above average in all the other categories, minus the romance. No romance. It's like 1% romance. Everything else is above average. JJK, it was just action, in my opinion. And there's probably story there, just you gotta watch several seasons to even get a glimpse of the story. Like, it kind of gave me like a Hunter x Hunter. It's the whole thing. I'm going on a rant. All right. But again, Sakamoto Days. Sakamoto Days is in the realm of Frieren. That's why Frieren is, in my top tier list, is above. I don't think much is competing with that except for like the heavy hitters already. But Sakamoto Days isn't really under the radar, but in terms of anime notoriety, in terms of anime ranking, especially because, and this is the last thing I'll touch on before I get off my rant, especially because Sakamoto Days is not on Crunchyroll, right? Because Sakamoto Days is not on Crunchyroll, there's going to be like an inherent bias towards it being even mentioned as like, oh, this is like the best anime of the year. Like, so if I promise you, if Sakamoto Days was on Crunchyroll, it'll probably get like more of a head nod, most likely, right? But it's not. But again, if you haven't watched Sakamoto Days, and if you watched my previous videos, you know I'm very few animes that I really acclaim. So like Sakamoto Days is in that realm of Frieren. It's really, really good. If you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. And I think if we're all being objective and honest with ourselves, it is definitely an anime of the year contender, depending on what else comes out. I'm MAS, my annoying senpai. But please, if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. If you think Sakamoto Days is an anime of the contender, like, preach it. Let people know. All right, people need to know. All right, please inform the masses. But I'm out.